Alright, here we go. This murder happened after the Hero of Heroes award ceremony, sir. Wait a minute. The murder happened after the Hero of Heroes award ceremony. It did. That is correct. Because it was after the ceremony, but before this press conference that was supposed to happen. Alright, let's go again. The victim, Juan Carrito, was found dead in his hotel room. I should be able to press him on anything, right? After looking into the cause of death, we believe he was definitely murdered, sir. At first, we thought there was something suspicious about the empty guitar case. Let's press him. Hold it! And why did you think that? Because it was empty, pal. The Jammin' Ninja doesn't go anywhere without his bright red guitar. And we couldn't find it anywhere at the scene of the crime.
Oh, then how about this theory? A fan really wanted the guitar and did the crime to get it. How's that? Oh, Sherlock Santa on the case.
Oh, we thought of that too, but... But? The only fingerprints on the guitar case were the victims. Only the victims, huh?
I see. So much for my theory then. Back to the workshop.
Guitar case updated in the court record. That's interesting. However, we later found out the guitar case had nothing to do with the murder. I'm gonna press him on that, too. What convinced you it had nothing to do with the case? The guitar wasn't at the Gatewater Hotel that night.
Well then, where was it?
The bright red guitar was eventually found at the TV studio. The victim, Juan Carrito, had apparently only taken the case with him, sir.
So you mean he forgot to put the guitar inside of the case?
Yes, sir. Even when he was on stage for the ceremony, he didn't have his guitar. So that guitar case was empty even before he got to the hotel. Yeah, that's right. So it really had nothing to do with the case after all. Our first order of business should be to gather more info. There might be a trap set up. Maybe. However, setting off traps is part of a lawyer's job too, if you say so. Of course, you're supposed to escape from them too, wouldn't you say? Alright, so let's go through his testimony again. Alright, let's press this. Would you please give us a brief timeline of what happened after the ceremony? Okay, pal. The ceremony started at 6 p.m. It ended around 8 p.m., and then there was a short break. A special post-ceremony show was supposed to start in the lobby 30 minutes later. And that's when the victim's body was found, correct?
Which is to say, the murder occurred during the 30-minute break period. Please continue with your testimony, detective.
The victim, Juan Carrito, was found dead in his hotel room. The person who discovered the victim's body was Adrian Andrews, correct? Yeah.
Who is this Adrian Andrews you're talking about?
She's the defendant, Matt Ongaard's manager. She's a pretty lady, sir.
Oh, so she's a pretty lady. Wonder if she'll grace us with her presence? I've only looked at Mrs. Claus for the past several hundred years, and I would like to get... Oh, forget it.
Then, the post-ceremony show was about to start. She went to get Mr. Ongaard. After visiting his room, she went next to the victim's room to get him for the show, sir.
I see. And that's when she found the victim's body.
Alright, we believe it was definitely murder. We'll push that too. The cause of death, wasn't that because Mr. Carrito was stabbed in the chest? Only a careless amateur would believe something so brainless as that, pal. Take a good hard look at the crime photo. Now, a real pro's attention would be drawn here to this bandana. Oh shit, I didn't even see that.
Banana?
His bandana, sir. That's the thing wrapped tightly around his neck, sir.
Oh, yes, I see. His banana-scented bandana. Delicious.
Then what about the knife? It seems to have been stuck in the victim's chest on purpose after his death.
We have a crafty murderer on our hands here.
Ah, autopsy report was added to the court record.
I believe that's enough. First, the victim was choked to death with his bandana. Then, after the victim was dead, the killer deliberately stabbed him with a knife. Which brings me to my next point. Why, then, did the police arrest Matt on guard? Because there was reason enough to suspect him. Here it comes. Looks like Edgeworth's back in full swing. Very well, Detective Gumshoe, please testify about this matter. Ho, 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 ho. Merry Christmas.
Yes, sir. Why arrest on guard? Here we go. Matt on guard and Juan Carrito were huge rivals with each other. Sorry. They each thought the other was in his way. That's motive enough in my book. As for evidence, there's the Jammin' Ninja's button. It was ripped off the ninja costume that was found in Mr. On Guard's hakama. The defendant's fingerprints were also all over the knife. The defendant bought the knife for the crime, which makes this a perfect premeditated murder. Well, hold on. Before I even say anything, before I read what Santa is saying here, I can already find the contradiction. We know the knife didn't kill him. The strangulation did, and there's no evidence that he strangled him. The only evidence is that he stabbed him. So it's consequential evidence. It has nothing. It's not related to the murder. So that's what I'm going to call him out on. But let's do the dialogue here.
So the defendant's fingerprints were found on the knife used in the stabbing.
It was sort of sticky on the handle, so the fingerprints came out pretty clearly, sir. Knife added to the court record. And there's this button.
That was found in the defendant's clothes, wasn't it? And is this button also covered in blood?
Yes, and we know that the blood on it is the victim's blood, sir. What? Jim and Ninja's button added to the court record.
All of this points very clearly to the defendant, doesn't it?
Yes, it most certainly does, Your Honor. Ready to give in yet, right? I'll find the hole in your argument somehow.
You can press as hard as you like. Just hurry up with your usual pointless questions.
Grrr. Alright. Alright. Let's just push. But in terms of popularity, Mr. On Guard won, did he not? Yeah, but you know what's ironic, pal? Juan Carrito was always one step behind Mr. On Guard in everything. This year it seemed like he'd finally caught up, ready for the big final showdown. But Mr. Carrito lost the Grand Prix in the end.
Oh, that is too bad. He must have been pretty downhearted after losing. Kind of like a small child who I filled their stocking with coal.
They each thought the other guy was in his way. Push that. Wait just 1 second here. Mr. On Guard was beating Mr. Carrito in the popularity polls. Well, yeah, I guess, but... Which means that in the defendant's eyes, the victim was not a rival at all. Which means he had no motive to kill at all.
Rubble, 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 rubble. Yes, I quite agree. Well, Detective?
Oh, it's not. Well, I guess if you put it that way, then yeah, the defendant would have had no motive. Uh-oh.
Detective, I'm beginning to see why you were fired.
Hey, no, not you too, Mr. Edgeworth, sir. That's...
Look forward to your pension negotiations.
No!
No, Detective. Let's continue with the testimony.
No, my poor pension, too.
Detective, if you value your money, I suggest you proceed.
Yes, sir. We can talk about my pension later, sir. What about what I was saying? Hello, anyone? Alright. As for evidence, is the Jammin' Ninja's button. Do you have any proof that the button belonged to the victim? Huh? What do you mean, pal? Let me put it this way. I'm asking you if you have any evidence to back up your claim that this button was ripped off of the Jammin' Ninja's costume. Oh, but can't you tell just by looking at it? And the victim's blood is on it.
Anyone could have smeared that blood on there afterward.
Oh, Mr. Edgeworth, help me, sir.
Alright, I knew it had to be this piece of evidence. Now to reel this one in. Thread.
Huh?
The button was attached to the costume by thread, obviously. And that thread snapped when the button was torn off. If you match up the ends of the thread on the costume with the thread on the button, it's a perfect match.
Yeah, that's it. They're a perfect match, pal. Arrgh.
That's Edgeworth for you. Never misses a beat.